My first job was in a tourist shop store. Because Havana used to get a lot of tourists, American tourists, and my idea is to greet them, and so they can get in and also learn English because of that. It was very nice. Yes.
So that job is how you started to develop more English?
The job, right, and then like 3 years later, I changed my job into a leather goods wholesale business, and I worked there. I worked very hard, and again, whatever I got, my parents got. And somebody gave me a nickel if I want to eat an ice cream or something.
Did your parents work? Both.
My father worked. My mother was a a housekeeper. So everything my mother was cooking and anything to do with the cooking and go shopping that she did.
Right. So what did your father do?
My father was into the leather business, a shoemaker. So he used to manufacture shoes way before. And then when they moved to Havana, this was the interior of Cuba, then they started, he opened a store to sell shoes into a system. And that's the way he made a living.
And at the time of this picture, does it remind you of any specific memory?
Yes, well, like I say, my sister and I were raised together. We were not, so we used to do everything together, except, girls at that time, they have their own shticks to go they're going out and enjoy themselves, not with their friends, their girlfriends.
Right. So what's the age gap?
The difference in age is 3 years old.
Okay.
3 to, I think she was here about 12, and I was about 9 here.
And did you guys go to school together?
We went to the same school. I remember that my sister used to play trumpet, and she was in a band. They gave me a little triangle, and I hated it.
So street music was very important to you?
We grew up with a lot of, again, Afro-Cuban music, because that's the beat of the country, but also was a lot of songs like from Argentina. It was very popular, Argentinian songs or Mexican songs, but the Cuban songs also was very into the biggest thing in Cuba, that one of the music that is very popular is Guantanamera, and it's based on Jose Marti's. He was a poet, and the word of the poetry is in the music.
Oh, wow.
It's nice.
That is nice.
A nice meaning, because it talks about the roses, flower, and it's a long story. But
At the time of this artifact, did you have any things that you would do for fun on your pastime since you were so young?
yes, we used to belong to a Zionist organization. It was called Hashomer HaTzair. It started in Poland about in the 1920s, and that's because of so many anti-Semitism in Poland. So they became very close, and then when a lot of people left Poland and they landed in Cuba, they founded the kibbutz, the Hashomer HaTzair.
And you never dealt with any anti-Semitism?
Once in a while, I dealt again when it was a Roman Catholic festivity, because they kept reminding them that we killed Christ.
So that would cause some issues.
A little bit, nothing personal that I can, that they take it too hard.
And was Rose, your sister, protective over you?
We were very close. My sister and I were very close, and we ate the same thing. My mother used to push a lot of steak liver. It's very healthy for you. Forget it.
What type of food would she cook for you?
Most likely a lot of Jewish food. She liked anything Jewish. She cooked. Once in a while, she didn't cook anything that was not kosher. Everything was kosher.
You were able to find kosher meat?
It was a store in Havana, the only store. We call it bodega. But everything about Jewish, for Passover, My mother make filter fish in the house. No jars in those days. Master, you had to buy master when it's a holiday. But everything that we ate was based on kashrut. She wasn't very religious, but that's why she learned how to cook. So,
Do you have a specific food that's your favorite from Cuba?
you mean food?
Yeah, like a dish.
Fish, we didn't eat so much fish. We used to eat a lot of chicken, I remember. And she used to make kneedlag and with soup. Everything was homemade.
Wow.
And tasted very good, by the way.
Wow. So you always felt safe in your country?
I felt safe except when government changed in Cuba because of the coup d'etat, then you have to be wary of the military because the military in Cuba, they carry weapons. It's not like military here. If you're on the street here, you don't carry a weapon. But in Cuba, the military carry weapons. I saw somebody being shot. He was running away from a military guy. He took out a gun and shot him. He didn't kill him, but he shot him in the leg.
Wow. Did you ever think of joining the military in Cuba?
No. That's one thing we didn't think of. The military was very aggressive, and they're protecting the government. Whoever's in power, that's the government that they protected. So I never wanted to be in the military in Cuba.
Grandma used to tell me that Castro was very involved in the community.
Yes, he
and
was.
that she would see him anywhere on the street, that he was around you.
One day I was walking with my friend Uri Top, and we were walking in a street near a shopping area in Cuba. It's like a shopping mall in those days. And all of a sudden, somebody pulled into a car, and who comes out? Castro. He was with somebody else, no weapons, no nothing. He looked the same as you see him on television, and beard, unkempt. He was going to a restaurant right where I was working.
So you would run into him, and he
Yeah,
was
I
around.
ran into him, yeah.
Right. Does this picture remind you of a specific memory, like anything that you can recall?
Well, the thing that I recall about this picture is that, again, my sister and I, again, we went to school together. She was in a higher grade than me, but we always walked to go to the school or shul. It's not around the corner. It was a good 15 minutes walk, but we went to the school and then we go back home all together because it's safe, but that's the way we used to do.
So it reminds you of the walks that you'd have?
Yes, a lot to walk.
Do you still think of Cuba as your home?
Yes, Cuba happens to be a beautiful country. The people are very nice. The music is beautiful in Cuba. And the people in general are very nice people. I never have a complaint about the people in Cuba.
And is there a lesson that you want the audience to learn regarding language, migration, or culture?
Yes, number one, you cannot forget where you're coming from. Some people, they want to forget the Jewish, whatever they are, but you cannot forget number one, you have to be able to communicate with people, and we were able to communicate with the local people, the Cuban people, and their system of the system of government was not great, because they keep changing governments in Cuba. But everybody was very quiet, very safe. So we enjoy. We have fun, whatever you can do.
When you speak, do you think in Spanish before you speak in English?
Not anymore. I've been here for more than I was in Cuba. I left Cuba when I was 23. I'm now 62 years later. I cannot think but once in a while I never forget where I'm coming from.
And did you know English?
Yes, the schools in Cuba, they teach you English as a second language.
So you knew it before completely?
Yeah, but not perfect,
Right.
But we learn English, and Old English, not what they teach in America. It's more English. But we also learn Yiddish, which is, at that time, was the language most of our ancestors spoke in Cuba.
And how long do you think it took you to become